Hey you! So today we have the SH Figuarts Red Ranger with Jason, and I've got to admit, it does look like him, but he looks really moody for some strange bizarre reason. So let's have a look at the packaging. We have the lovely 25 years anniversary, then obviously we've got the Red Ranger, we've got the figure inside which you can see, then you've got a helmet, power sword, other hand, Power Rangers event exclusive, then again you've got Jason there, and then you've got Jason on the back showing the different sort of skills, what you get with him as well. I think that's exactly what you got with the other one, and then obviously you can put his head there. You got the 25 years, you've got the Power Red Ranger at the bottom, and then obviously you've got the 25-year logo at the top. So let's open up this bad boy and have a look inside. Here is Jason. He looks kind of, as I say, really moody. Like when they've done these figures, it feels like they've not done anything like to give him expression. It's just like plaster on their face. You've got the kind of hair which really looks like Jason's. You've got the kind of depth on his kind of eyes and his nose, as well as his mouth. Even when you look at the side, you've got his ears and then ears there. So when we come looking at the chest, now one thing I liked, I don't think it was on the original, but you've got kind of creases there, and I think slightly there, which actually gives this a bit of life. The diamond is absolutely fine. It looks a lot bigger than normal, and especially like when you put the arms out like so, it can carry on. But I kind of thought that they would have had this kind of station so you can just adjust it properly without kind of having to mess about with it. We can see that the joints are exactly the same as pretty much all Figuarts, which you know my feelings on them. And then obviously you've got the white diamond just there. As we come down to the Morpher, we can see that they've got the Tyrannosaurus coin. Again, I was always very impressed with this one. I generally thought it was really nice that they put that much work into it. We've got the kind of joints there again, as we've noticed, and they kind of stick out a little bit to me, especially around there. We've got the holster for the blade blaster, and again you kind of think that in a way they've made it into this, but you think that they would have made the joints slightly different so it would incorporate the entire cuff. And even on the side you can see that they've done it. So again, it looks okay, but I kind of wish they put a little bit maybe of a black line around it. I know it possibly wasn't on the actual show, but it just kind of makes it pop out a little bit more. As we come down to here as well, you've got the kind of like boot cuffs or whatever they're called, there is a little bit more life just here and just there. It's actually creased, which I kind of really like, because it's just not plastic. It's not just a straight plastic which you think this one actually really stands out and gives it a lot more life. So when coming to the back of it, you can see just here that you've got like more of the lines, more of the kind of ruffles here and here, which is absolutely lovely. Again, we've got the joints. Again, you know my feelings on it. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're on everything, so I can't always complain about it. Looking at the back of the Ranger, it's exactly the same, so we pull it into place. It's really weird with this lens again. It feels like everything I pull there, it's like that's focused, but this isn't. It's kind of annoying. But I really like the kind of the white diamonds continuing. Again, I'm guessing that this sort of hole here was meant for something, but who knows. Then we have the back of the head here. There's a lot of like kind of texture to it. It really blends in, and I'm guessing that's exactly the sort of hair that Jason had back in the day. It suits really well. I really like the way that the collar comes up. It reminds me of the hero collars that you see on most cosplayers. But yeah, that looks kind of really cool. Definitely separates the figure away from a lot of them. And I hope that they bring out this for every single Ranger in Mighty Morphing. As you know, we do the stress test with all figures. Is it a stress test really, or is it just basically seeing what it is? So the feet move up and down quite nicely, actually, a lot better than the Green Rangers. So we have then the kind of knee joint, which is fine. It goes all the way back. So that I'm okay with. That's actually quite cool. Maybe I should light the joints instead. That goes back again. Arms move up and around, so you can twist them like so. And you've also got kind of a metal joint in there, and turn around like so. Same thing on this one. So figure moves around as well, like so. up and down, and then just like so. Head moves up and down. It's actually a lot easier than the Green Ranger. I'm guessing because you haven't got the shield around, that can actually kind of not hinder it, but kind of like make it easier to pose in different ways. Again, he looks so moody though, so moody. Figuarts, your Bandai, Tamashii Nation, make different ones so you look happier, or different a range of helmets, heads, please. It's what I'm asking you. But apart from that, just leave it as that. Apart from that, the figure is absolutely okay. Let's have a look at when you put the Red Ranger helmet on. Now, when looking at it, it feels very kind of weird. It doesn't feel like it's a Mighty Morphing one. It feels very off. So, it looks very, to me, like that. It generally looks like the flip head ones that we've got. Turn it to the side, it looks absolutely fine, but I generally really don't like this sculpt of helmet. I might compare it to the Japanese one that I've had for such a long time, but I generally would have thought this helmet would have been, I don't know, more towards the show. It feels again like the flip head. It does give it some life, but again, not as much as I would like it to. And with focus, I mean, you've got the teeth, which are very well done. You've got the eyes, you've got the mouth. You know, it looks impressive, but to me, it looks really weird at the same time. Something that I generally wouldn't have. I'd rather have him holding the helmet compared to actually having it on his body. So yeah, to me, it just looks a bit off, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But it is kind of nice to have at the same time. So here is the power sword, and I've got to admit, I really love this black line. It's very hard to hold because trying to keep it in focus, but I love the gold, the Tyrannosaurus coin on there as well. It would have been interesting if they'd painted this gold, but to be honest, for what it looks like, it's absolutely stunning. I always like the detail on weapons. It just gives it a little bit extra, but in a way, I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't paint that black. I wouldn't have been like, oh, it needs to. I think it would just been fine. Here's also the blade blaster. That, again, I'm very really impressed with. Even where you've got the teeth, you've got the gold, you know, it's been painted. This part, again, hasn't been painted black. I don't know if in Power Rangers it was. I know it was on the toys, but dear God, like the amount of detail they've put into this, outstanding. Even in rod mode as well, that looks kind of cool, like a red edge as well, like red blade there. Again, you got the writing, or not writing, but you got that red little bar there as well. And even the tip is silver. It just generally looks very impressive. Then also just in the holster as well, this looks stunning too. It's a really nice addition to it, and I'm glad that they added it in. There we go, Rangers. There is the Red Ranger with Austin St. John's head, and to be honest, I have to say, and I was quite surprised, but I prefer Tommy over this one, mainly because the figure's fine. I like the way it is, but the head looks a bit weird. Like it looks like him, but it also doesn't. When looking at it, like kind of posing it for this last shot, it reminded me of the guy from like the Wonder Years, that sort of helmet, like that sort of face, should I say. The one with, like, if I was comparing obviously with Jason David Frank's one with Tommy, it looks very much like they've spent a bit more time, where unfortunately it just looks like he's really sad, like something's happened, he's like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I generally like the look of this more than the Green Ranger. I generally think that this is a nicer one, but to me, I'm kind of a bit more like, I really wish this face could have been better. Even the helmets, like even on both figures, the helmets do not look that much like it. It feels like it's like the flip head ones. Like I like when you look at, say, for example, when we look at the case, if we just kind of try and bring this in close for a shot, let's try putting it here. Like you can tell that they've taken the image, even from that one, like I'll put it at the end, but it looks like they've taken the image from the original one that they did, and this one is a completely different head sculpt, or helmet sculpt, should I say, but I'm glad to add it to my collection, and I want the rest of them, but I generally want them to put kind of more emotion into the faces rather than just 3D printing it. I think that would be nice. Or if you had a different set of heads, again, that would be nice to have. Like, you know, you could have one of him screaming, getting angry, of him being happy, you know, actually put some emotion into the figure. But apart from that, it's a really nice way of saying, hey, 25th anniversary, we've got the red and green Ranger, and then white Ranger's coming out, and I really want them to bring out like pink, yellow, blue, black. I think that'd be really nice to have again, and also add it to collection. But yeah, that's my kind of thoughts on it. What do you think, Rangers? What are your thoughts? Would you collect this figure, yes or no? Would you pass on it? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check out all the other videos on the channel. If you want to help out on Patreon, link is in the description down below. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.